Hello and welcome to another episode of Anime Club. My name is Chris,
Wayne's
and
World,
this
Wayne's World.
underneath me.
It's Phoebe.
How you doing?
Yeah, why? How did I end up down here today? It's because we needed to make space for Major Kusanagi.
Yeah, that
That's fair.
and
Yeah,
I really like this picture and I wanted to use it, so I'm trying to
yeah.
move a frame about.
I have been so excited to talk about this film. I love it so much. And watching it, I'd forgotten how stunningly beautiful so many of the scenes are. It's just gorgeous. Um,
Do you know?
yeah.
Before we talk about the animation stuff like that, I just want to say this about this film: they're not afraid to linger on a scene, like not in a bad way.
No. No, 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 in like a really gorgeous way.
Yeah, yeah,
Also, they're not afraid of an animator too. I'm
yeah. I
just gonna get
appreciate
that in
that.
there real early. Me
Appreciate
too.
that.
I've it I will happily say that I think Major Kusanagi might be the hottest anime character ever to have been drawn. But speaking of snacks, what snacks have you got this week?
Well, this week I went a little bit
Did
different.
you like my segue?
I did. I was just shocked by it. So okay.
Yeah.
Um. So this week I went a bit different. I have
No.
a little game. Well, kind of a
Oh
little
yeah.
game. But what I'm gonna
It's
let
game
you
for
do
me.
is,
It could be
yeah,
punishment for you.
maybe I did try one before and I couldn't tell if it was bad or good. But what you can do at any point, think of a
Yeah.
phrase, a trigger phrase.
Well, I think what we should have is like a particular phrase that people can put in the chat, and let's hand over your snacking to the chat, to the live chat. So
Well,
I think like put a smiley face in the chat if you want to see Chris roll for what could be a horrible
yeah,
thing.
I'll tell you what it is anyway. So the jelly beans, it's got a little arrow on here, and it could be a nice flavor, could be a nasty one. Like there's apple or
Nice.
wasabi, or there's strawberry or chili, lemon or ginger. I don't think I like that one. Watermelon or jalapeno. Um, Strawberry or chili. Yep,
Jalapeno.
that's it. So what I'll do is
Nice.
if
So
I'll
there's
do one
three
to
different
start off
types
with.
of chili.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Molly,
we've got our first smiley face. Pop it in.
you'll have to keep this in check, by the way. While you're doing
Yeah.
that, I'm doing that. It is apple or wasabi, which is one I tried before and I couldn't tell if I got good or bad. But do
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
explain your
Well, now
snacks?
we'll be able to. Oh, yeah. So I was going to have hot chocolate and some pink. They're like strawberry and cream chocolate digestives. They're like little pink ones. And I had it all laid out on a cute little pink plate with my cute little mug for my hot chocolate. And the problem was I made it just like 15 minutes too early because then I ate three of the biscuits and drank all the hot chocolate. So now I've got one chocolate biscuit left.
Um, Molly's amazingly just did three smileys. So
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
what?
She's just spamming him.
The
This
first
is
one was
revenge
apple.
for earlier.
This
Hmm.
is watermelon and jalapeno, and the third one.
Oh.
I think there should be a limit on the. That's jalapeno. Mm. Mm. Strawberry or chili. This one. You know what it is? These aren't even that bad. It's not a punishment. Strawberry or chili.
There's still jelly beans.
I remember
Yeah, nice.
when. Oh, that's. I
These aren't even
didn't.
that bad.
I did not
Did you
expect
just
that.
did you just
That's
spit it out? What was it?
that's chili, but it's actually spicy. What's going on here? I've got to eat it though, haven't I? Really?
That's so funny. Yeah, you gotta finish it. Munch it down. Oh, your
Oh.
face. For those listening on Spotify, Chris's face is doing some wonderful things. Pause it and go look at the YouTube.
Mm.
Down the hatch.
Mm.
Fabulous. We'll pause there for a moment and carry on, but in let's say 5 to 10 minutes, we'll reopen the chat function of triggering a Chris snack.
Yeah, or else I'll either go into diabetic coma or just not be able to speak.
Speaking of which, it is Diabetes Month.
Yep.
So
So
why did we pick this anime?
because I do actually, I said it as a joke first because I've got kept alive by a machine because I've got an insulin pump.
Mm.
But a massive theme of this film is it's set in 2029, so the distant future, and a, a lot of the people on here,
Hmm.
Chris is just like a youth that would rob me from Paul. Mm, mm,
Mm.
not be hard.
Mm.
So in this
Look
like,
after your stuff better, mate.
yeah, your fault asking for it.
If you don't want
It,
to go, if you don't want to get robbed, don't come to Morpeth.
yeah, the Morpeth lads.
The Morpeth massive.
I think it's actually called the Morpeth Mad Dogs.
Oh, okay.
Get it
Okay,
right?
forgive me.
But
Yeah,
sorry, in
I don't
this
want to start a
feature,
gang war.
and like people can replace limbs or organs
Mm.
with with synthetic stuff. Like you can have a robot arm or a limb, or both the same thing, but like an organ. So
Yeah.
I've technically got an artificial pancreas on us. So
Technically, yeah. You've got a
it's
bit of
a
machinery that's releasing insulin into your body when you need it.
yeah.
You
So
are a cyborg.
mm,
That's kind of fun to think about.
I I am, but I do have some. I don't know. There could be heavy questions or there could not be. But before those,
So into it. I'm so into it. Let's go.
could you? Well, you can see my notes. I've got quite a few questions. Well, not that many, but
Oh yeah. Whoa. You've actually prepared this week. I'm impressed.
I have, and I've even got the synopsis and stuff. If you struggle or
Ooh.
anything, but could you go through the plot of the 1995 film Ghost in the Shell, please?
Ghost in the Shell. Yes, of course I can. The seminal work that is. So this is before I go into the plot, am I allowed to just have like a fangirl moment where I say this is one of my favorite anime films of all time? And I know I've said that about a couple of anime films, but
Mhm.
genuinely, I was watching this film and I was like instantly like, oh, it's been over 15 years probably since I've watched this. No, maybe a bit less since I've last watched it, and it was absolutely stunning. I loved it. Um, so it is about Major Kusanagi, who is an android operative for a shady government organization called Section 6. And the film starts with her taking on some there's some interesting crimes that have been occurring, and humans with augmentations have been being hacked by an unknown assailant. And what Section 6 are trying to do is to track the hack back to the person who is hacking them. So they keep getting closer and closer, and then just as they think they've got the big guy, they realize that that person is it's another person who's had their ghost. So your ghost is like your spirit, your like organic mind inside
Consciousness.
your consciousness inside the like either your human body that's then been augmented or inside like fully inside an android body. So they keep following this hack and following this hack, and while this is happening, you've also got this kind of gorgeous exploration of what like, and I think there's a deep irony because most when sci-fi deals with robots and when it deals with androids, what it's actually always examining is what does it mean to be human. So a lot of the time you're following Major Kusanagi as she goes through her investigation, and you see the world through her eyes and her own contemplation of is she human, is she sentient, are any of us like really sentient? What does it mean to be conscious and self-aware? And it's fabulous. But anyway, so they're following the hack and they eventually get closer and closer. There are some fucking amazing robot fights. There's some robot on robot violence in this, including a massive spider tank, which I think is one of the best bits of the film, where she single-handedly takes on this massive spider tank, and for a minute you think it's going to be great, and then she just gets absolutely like she has to really push her body, like her android body, to the like point of breaking.
Yeah. She
Um,
gets hench.
and then she gets hinch, and eventually they manage to track down the source of all this hacking and this cybercrime, and it turns out to be another sentient. Well, it's an artificial intelligence. It's a sentient computer program, which, following some kind of, so it was like created. Is it by Section 9, which is
Yes.
the same people who created Major Kusanagi. And what they've done is that they tried to, when they realized that this computer program had gained sentience, they tried to shut it down. So the computer program goes to Major Kusanagi and asks for political asylum. So you then have like this like argument of, can a computer program and a sentient life form be uh can it be a like can it be a citizen,
Yeah.
is actually kind of what it's asking.
I really love how
Yeah,
he
yeah.
gets around that. Where he's just like, well, actually, you're a criminal anyway, and we don't house criminals, so nah.
Yeah, so we don't offer political asylum to criminals, but that then also seems to imply that they're accepting that actually political asylum would be legitimate if this entity wasn't a criminal,
AI
right? If they
thing.
hadn't performed like an AI thing. Anyway, so then the AI and Major Kusanagi interface together, and the
Mm.
AI offers Major Kusanagi a choice, which is, could we commingle and essentially produce
Can we smash
in a kind of
code?
intellectual. Can we smash code? Can we get those ones and zeros together? And create a new life form that's utterly unique and also has not been created by humans, but is like its own unique entity. And there's a bit of a kind of like psychic battle. Major Kusanagi manages to retain her identity, but loses her body, and then is put into a something that, this is the one bit of the film where I was like, this is weird. Which is that she's put
Yeah.
into a body of a child version of herself, that Bato, who is her like right hand guy, just happens to have lying around.
Mm. I don't know if that was because because I watched the Japanese version and you
Oh
watched the
yeah,
English
and we
version.
watched, yeah, English
So
version.
in the version that I watched, he specifically Kusanagi says like, "Why did you get us this body?" And he was like, "It was the only one I could find on the black market at short notice." So apparently, in this
Yeah,
world, there's an abundance of child shells. Take
yes.
make of that what you
So
will, but yeah,
yeah, so shells in this world are like empty android bodies that you can put a ghost in.
yeah,
But it's an absolutely stunning film. If nothing else, just go and watch the opening sequence where Major Kusanagi is dreaming of her own creation, and
I should.
because it's so yeah, well, this we can move on to. It's
Yeah,
so stunning. They also they do this like, because it's made in the 90s, which is really hard for me to believe, because I think it holds up so well. But they have these moments of very still kind of static shots where they've obviously had to save some budget money. But then they also have these incredible action shots, and these shots where they move through the city, and with like it's just so rich and reflective and detailed.
yeah.
A fantastic film. That's my summary.
I don't know if I agree with the budget part. I think having because there is a lot of landscape pictures over this
Yeah.
cityscape and stuff like that, and it has the odd motion. But I think that kind of adds to the depth of the world,
Mm.
and as a nice little product of that, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
I,
But there are lots of scenes where they're just talking exposition,
Yeah.
and you'll just see like, but what they do nicely is they do simple movements in those, so that even though it's quite a static shot where she'll be like in the back of a van assembling a gun as they talk through the strategy for how they're going to track down, I forget what they call him now,
Puppet
what
Master.
the puppet master, because he's like puppeteering these other humans. And also there's like a kind of thing where he's going in and like altering their memories. So at one point
Oh,
they track
yeah.
one guy down, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. They track this one guy down and they've given him memories of a family that he never had, and he
Yeah.
thinks that he's just recently divorced, but he's been living alone with no family, no friends for 15 years in this kind of like fantasy that the puppet master has established. So there's also this element of the puppet master has been controlling members of the population unknowingly for decades. Um,
See, I
and that's
thought
where Section 6 are.
I thought it was just because he's a bin man and he goes around. I thought he was a single guy living in a tiny, messy little apartment, and I think
Yeah.
he's been hacked by. Is it 2501 that the program's called?
Yeah, I
It's a
think
string of
so.
numbers anyway. That's the pop up master. I think that's what happened. So I think he was living a sad little bin man life, and then got hacked, implanted the memories of his wife, kids, and dog, and then that's what he thought his life was, as
Yeah,
opposed
yeah,
to him having it for 15 years. Because I
yeah.
don't think he's been made for that long. Because he was 2501 or two. I'll check his name because it's bothering us. Yeah, 2501. Project 2501 is his
Yeah.
name. He was he's something like espionage and narrative control for the government in his top
Yeah.
secret program, and he gained
So
sentience.
I the in the English translation they also it's they kind of link it to like some civilian control. So there's an
Yes,
element of like espionage abroad, but there's also an element of espionage on our own people. Like it's very sinister,
yeah,
sci-fi dystopian kind of uh computer program. But yeah, and it's absolutely like heartbreaking the moment where Major Kusanagi and Bato and are like questioning this guy and being like, can you tell us the name of your children? Can And they start asking him details, and you see the realization. And this is
yeah,
again another like shout out to the animation, because it's so emotive in that moment. Like you can feel the emotion on the man's face as his like whole world falls apart, because he realizes
yeah,
that all of these memories he thought he had are all completely fake, um, and that he's just been controlled by an unknown, an unknown person, creature, entity. I think entity is probably the best.
yeah. AI got mad,
Yeah.
but
Hey, I gone mad. Yeah, yeah. I saw Jake in the chat earlier as well. So I was like, I feel like
oh,
this is a
sorry,
very like Jake approved film. Oh, we get a spin, get a spin.
this one is cola or cinnamon. Oh
Down
no,
it,
wait there, apple or wasabi.
down
But
it,
while I'm
down
chewing
it.
that, apple one. I'm
Oh.
Do you think, right,
Mm.
that the body and mind are two separate entities? And do you
Are
think
you
one
asking
can
me about
exist without the other?
Cartesian dualism, Chris?
Don't know what that is.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not smart enough for that.
I have a running joke with some people that if given the opportunity, I would be switched. Like if tomorrow, if you offered to put me in a jar and be like brain in a jar, I would 100% say yes, right? Like I'm
Mm,
all for like living in a world of my own mind. That is fine. However, if I really dig down into what do I honestly believe, I think that Cartesian dualism, which is the idea that the mind and the body are separate entities, but they have integrations, and the psychology of integration between mind and body and how they affect each other is the kind of like human experience. So that's Descartes' I think, therefore I am. So that the mind leads the body because it's separate to the body.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's built on out of date science. So I
Mm-hmm.
think what we now know is that actually that like our mind and body are more intrinsically linked than we probably are aware of. And so, for example, you have more neurons in your guts than you do in your brain, and your guts and your body and your need for fuel will make decisions for your brain that you are not consciously aware of. So you're
Mm-hmm.
driven more by your instincts than you realize. Whereas Descartes thought that he could pinpoint the connection between the body and the mind to a single part of the brain. That's just not how neurology works these days. We know
Yeah.
that there is a lot more interplay. There's also a lot more interplay between parts of our mind, and this whole concept of like neuroplasticity, so the brain being able to compensate for damage that happens within itself by rebuilding new connections even in adulthood. So fundamentally, no. I think our minds and bodies are linked, and I think Cartesian dualism still holds uh, a very compelling argument for how do we explain our sense of self, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the kind of thing that's explored in Ghost in the Shell. Is like how do you describe your own identity? Like what defines Chris versus someone else who has lived your exact same life? If someone were to live every step and every moment that you have lived, would they be the same person, or would they be a different version of you? Like when we look into each other's faces, how can I tell that I'm Phoebe and that you're Chris? Like what is it that defines human spirit identity, and like what is it that defines the ghost that exists in our shells?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the thing that makes this argument appealing, because we don't have an answer for that yet. Science hasn't been able to really explain that in a huge amount of detail,
Well, I
other
think
than, oh sorry, carry on. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think a lot of it is personal.
Yeah.
So it's what feels right. Because I mean, we've said it quite a lot before. I say it with the north south divide, and it's weird to link it to this. But if
No,
something
no, but you will link it to anything if you can.
yeah, I'll always bring this up. So I think if it feels right, then it is. Then that's the right answer, because you can't prove it anyway. Because if you're saying that the mind and the body are totally different, can you separate them? What's to say that the empty shell is not Chris and the you know what I mean?
The mind is something separate. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mind is the
So
addition, and the shell is the Chris.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But do you think so? Kusanagi in this is has a fully prosthetic body. She's
Yes.
got Kusanagi brain cells, I think, but she's even got an artificial brain. It's not fully human.
Correct. Yeah.
So do you think she is a human, or could be classed as
No.
a person?
Yes. So, and I think those two things are different. I think what this kind of sci-fi explores
Oh.
is what is the personhood beyond humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think he, Major Kusanagi in this de- demonstrates qualities of sentience and qualities of
Mm-hmm.
personhood, in that and I think particularly that final bit with the puppet master, her decision not to merge, because merging would be a logical choice for a program, right? But
Mm-hmm.
her choice is to keep her own identity. So she clearly has boundaries to her sense of self, which
Mm-hmm.
I think is part of what would define her as a human being. Part of what defines her as a person, but she's not a human being because she is an android.
Yeah.
And her experiences are different. And a lot of the film, you see it through her eyes, or you see her life in a reflection. Like the
Mm-hmm.
film is like a mirror to humanity, but she is often separate from the humans around her, and she chooses to keep humans around her very deliberately. There's even like a
Hmm.
conversation quite early on in the film with Togusa, who's one of the detectives who's got the world's most terrible mullet. I've never seen a police officer with a mullet.
Each to their own. I think it's great. He's my favorite character. Whatever.
Yeah. What, Chris, tell me, what was it that about the middle-aged dad that appealed to you as a character?
Me, because I think he's the most relatable character in this because he's a human. He does, I think he's got augmented parts of him, but for the most part he's fully human. He's got all his limbs, all his organs and everything. He has
Yeah,
a wife and a kid, and as in that conversation where he's talking to Kusanagi, because he's like, why did you bring me on this elite Section 9 team when I'm just a normal bloke? You've got a Bato with these super eyes, and
amazing,
he's,
cool eyes.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he's massive and strong, and he's all this, and then you've got you, who's an all rounder, and then you've got whoever, and she's like, well, if everyone works the same way, then you'll not be able to come at a problem from a different angle. It like if all the parts of a machine work exactly the same way, it's a what you say, it's a fault in the system. So we need to come at it
yeah,
from that human element, which
yeah.
which I loved,
And
and
that's
I think without him, the story in the film would have been less. He doesn't even have a massive part in it. I know he does later on in other films in the series, but yeah, I just like him. And he's got a big
I'm
six
getting told,
shooter.
and he got a big six shooter. We love a big old six shooter. There is an element of gun porn in this film.
Yeah,
And Jackson Wolf Studio is telling me don't diss the mullet, and Molly's now telling me mullets are in. So apparently I'm not on the cool train.
Molly
Some
wants to
people
give
wear
our
them.
son a mullet. I don't agree with that, but
Oh,
ginger mullet. All right. Sorry, they're complaining that I haven't spanned the jelly bean apple or wasabi. No, wait there. It's another chili or strawberry or
oh,
chili.
is
This
that the
is a
one that
minging
made you
one.
gag? Put it
Yeah,
in your mouth. Put it
I'm
in your
expecting it
mouth.
now.
Don't sniff it. Just bite down. Ooh.
Strawberry.
Okay, nice.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Mm.
Nice, nice, nice.
Sorry, what were we
Yeah,
talking
but
about
Togusa
before?
is a great.
Oh, sorry.
Mullets are cool. Togusa's great. He's your favorite character.
I was wanting to talk about your point before, where when you were saying that people also view view the Major as human, kind of,
Yeah,
because it's weird because the Major's got them human brain cells in her. I think that makes all the difference to everyone else, because
right.
the project, the puppet master, when he's inhabiting a another shell, at the
Yeah,
end scene where they're connected and they're both talking to each other, if you notice, do you know Bato only put his clothes over Major and not the puppet master to save her
yes.
dignity? Because I think
Yeah, yeah,
he views her as a another human, and he sees the puppet master, who's
yeah.
essentially the same without brain cells in the shell. He's just a complete program that's been transferred into there. I,
There is also in the so there are subsequent films to Ghost in the Shell. So you've got like there's one which is I can't remember, it's the Smiling Something, which is
Laughing
really,
man.
oh, the Laughing Man.
Yeah.
There's the Laughing Man, there's the reboot, and then there's also the standalone complex, which is like the
Mm,
series of this, as well as the manga. And in some of the later bits of media and in the original manga, Bato, like there's almost like a kind of vampiric element to Major Kusanagi, because she is this entity that doesn't age. So she changes as she experiences different things in the world, but physically, because she's in this android body, she remains kind of young, strong, powerful, beautiful.
relatable.
Whereas Bato, relatable, obviously, whereas Bato is aging as the series goes on. And you see the same with Togusa. Like Togusa
Mm,
experiences the things that a father of a daughter experiences. He experiences like his daughter growing up, he experiences challenges with his marriage. And like whereas Kusanagi is kind of in this fixed point in time. And there's also this really tragic, and I think you get hints of it in this film, that, and one of the moments I think is also that covering her up, where you have Bato has clearly, as a younger man, had feelings for Kusanagi, and has aged beside her, whereas
mm,
she hasn't. And you see him later, kind of like having these moments of uh, like I think they even have a conversation in The Laughing Man where he talks about the fact that one day he's going to die and she's going to carry on. Um, but there is, he clearly does still see her. So even though he's recognizing that she's different and ageless, he still sees her very much as a person. Like it's still someone that he has emotions and a relationship with.
mm.
And I think you're right. That kind of contrast between how he treats her versus how he treats her is a really good way of highlighting that. Um,
See, now it's
yeah, and
making
I
us think:
think
is that because of him growing up with the Major instead of the distinction because she has organic matter inside of her head?
yeah, but I think it can be both. I think it can be both because I think that those brain cells do make the difference. But I
Mm,
think also Major Kusanagi is more interested in humanity than the puppet master is. So Major Kusanagi is choosing to surround herself with humans. She's picking people for her team who contrast her own being, whereas the
mm,
puppet master is trying to find the one other entity that is like them.
yeah.
Um, so there's I and one of the questions I keep asking myself is, does Major Kusanagi see herself as a person, or does she see herself as a program? Um,
I think
and
it
I
depends on
don't know
the.
if I can answer that. I think she's yeah, she doesn't have an answer for it.
Mm, yeah, I think she kind of has something towards the end of the film. I think she views herself as not a as an android and something different to like everyone that's on Section 9.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it was a journey. I think it depends on what part of the film you're at to what she's thinking.
Yeah,
Because I mean, even there's some points where she talks to her ghost as a separate being. In it as
yeah.
well. Even after she's do you know when she goes diving, and Bato's is like, why are you diving? Because
Oh,
if one of those, because obviously she's a shell's not a human body, it doesn't float. It's made of what is it? Begins with T. Um, it's made of metal anyway.
titanium.
Titanium, yeah. It'll sink like a stone if it was in the water.
Titanium.
And he's just like,
Yeah,
well, if one of your flotation devices, Nagas, you're gone. You're at the bottom of the sea. You cannot get up. We cannot recover you. What do you feel there? And then she starts
yeah,
hearing voices, and then she sees her own reflection, and
yeah.
she's kind of feeling human emotion, which is rare because she
So,
gives you out from her face.
yeah, and she seems to be trying to chase that human emotion. Jackson has also just I keep saying Jackson Wolf, um, has also just said, yeah, the diving scene might tell more about this.
Yeah.
Uh, and then Lee's gone back to mullets. Look, I'm sorry, mullets are cool. I take it back.
No, Lee hates mullets.
Does getting a mullet, I fully think that Lee could rock a mullet, but
Ah,
not like a kind of not like a Togusa mullet. I think Lee could rock like a proper 80s Bon Jovi style.
nice little burn
Um,
from Molly there.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
You must be right, Lee. You are well known to be right at the at the forefront of fashion trends. He's a
Mm,
stylish fella.
yeah.
um, Yeah, no, I think the diving scene's really telling. There's also something, and can we just talk about the opening sequence as well, where
Mm.
you have her, the kind of creation, just going back to the creation sequence, because something else that I think comes into this, and it's even in the like, so Ghost in the Shell is obviously from like the Deus Ex Machina, which is another kind of Descartes coined phrase, and the kind of French philosophical phrase, which is about this concept of did God create man or did man create God? And you have this like there's this push pull between science and spirituality in the film, and I think some of the imagery in the diving scene in that opening sequence, there is a almost like a kind of religious reverence to the, like, it's so beautiful, especially that bit where, okay, I'm not gonna call it the semen bath. It's like the where she's
It,
coming out of that white.
we called it. Well, I said a phrase that you said you were going to call it for. It was a jizz koozie.
When she's coming out of the jizz koozie at the beginning.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because you're welcome. I did say that I'd be willing to use that phrase, but I didn't want to use semen bath. jizz jizz koozie's fine.
Okay.
Um, and when she's coming out the jizz koozie at the beginning, and then suddenly it kind of almost turns to paper and like rips off her skin to reveal like Major Kusanagi's more human
Boobs.
like skin underneath and her boobs. If you're in anime for the titties, you will not have to wait more than 20 minutes before you get shots of tits. Um, but it kind of like rips off and almost looks like kind of a flurry of paper or something.
Mm.
And it feels so much like some sort of kind of spiritual kind of, oops, sorry, I'm knocking my mic, some sort of spiritual like awakening type thing. It's absolutely stunning. And that kind of like contemplation between, are we human, are we animals, are we robots, like, is, if you're accepting that, like, what's the spark of divine in like your spirit versus my spirit, this idea of like ghosts and human identity, and the god, oh my god, what have you just put in your mouth?
Wasabi, but not white nice wasabi.
Weird jelly bean wasabi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
yeah, it does that classic sci-fi thing of like not only examining our existence but examining like the philosophy behind who we are, and what does creation mean, like what, like, why are we creating robots that look like ourselves?
yeah.
um
I was actually going to ask
yeah.
you why. Why is that? Why you think that the shells are human shaped? Because if for Section 9 or Section 6 who created them, these are shells built for specific roles. So why don't they have like specific body types? Because like you get Bato and then you get Kusanagi, two entirely different things. Why don't they have like three arms or a rocket launcher forehead or something like that?
Okay,
Or
so this,
uh,
no, I was going to say this leads me on to another question for you, but let's answer that one first.
right,
Or
are we all not born from the jizz? Jackson Wolf
yeah,
Studio 2025.
even androids. um Also, I love that Lee's declaring that he's going to be a fashion icon, the fashion icon he was destined to be on Top Grumps. Um, yeah, so this is the thing that you just said it in the chat. So God, like, so we off like in the Bible, whether you're Christian or not, there's this kind of idea that man is created in God's image. But uh when you look at some of the French philosophers, which I think this film is very heavily influenced by like French existential philosophy, and the early parts of it being like Cartesian philosophy. There's also this question of, did God create, were we created in God's image, or did we create God in our image? So if you look at the iconography of like Jesus on the cross, Jesus comes down this, like, he's a divine entity but in human form. The same for if you look at even some like Hindu iconography, like you might have an extra set of arms, you might have like animal characteristics, but fundamentally there is humanity underneath in these divine forms. The same for the ancient Greeks, the same for the ancient Romans. Um, and actually, there are kind of very few religions where God, the divine, is not depicted in a kind of humanly recognizable way. And I think there is something in us as a species that when we create, we look to create in our own image. So whether or not we are created in someone else, some other entity, divine entity's image is not a question that I'm willing to answer because I don't know. Probably
You
not,
know,
probably. Nah, just doesn't seem to it. But what I do think we do is create stuff that looks like us. We make statues of ourselves. We create
mm,
paintings of our loved ones. So I think it is natural for us to seek out to when we're looking to create sentience, we will create it in as closer to our own self as we can.
which I think's lazy. Do you know, I would ask, I would
This is
add a
why I
couple.
love you, because I'll say something really pretentious like that, and you'll be like, "Yeah, and it's lazy," and you're right.
Yeah, it's just like design something better. Humans' limitations. So get rid of that. Even when you see just before Kusanagi comes out the jizz baths, you can see all of our muscle structure and everything like that. It's exactly the
No, we're
same
not
as a
saying just for
human's.
jacuzzi.
Oh yeah, jizz.
It's
Just like
jacuzzi.
just improve it so you can have like 360-degree motion in your arms and
Okay, so this
joints
is
and
back
stuff
to
like
the
that.
question I wanted to ask you. Other
Right.
than an artificial pancreas, what
Uh.
augments in this, if we're in 2029, the far distant future, what
Mm.
augments and cybernetics are you getting? And would you go full android body given the choice?
Um. I would probably, but if I just had the choice of augments, I would put uh more hardier skin. I'm sick of cutting myself, but by accident, not on purpose.
Can I just say, if you don't want to cut yourself, you need to stop scratching with Stanley knives.
It toughens your skin up. I barely cut myself anymore, but it'd be so much better. There's so many times where I've went to grab a hot bit of metal and burnt my hand, but like when your skin gets thick, you don't realize until it's too late as well. So you'll touch it
Yeah,
and
and
you'll
then
be
you've
like,
done more damage.
yeah. So
Yeah.
thicker skin, more hardier skin. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind a titanium exoskeleton, normal skeleton, more like.
Oh, okay. So you wouldn't go exoskeleton, you wouldn't go like Beetle Man with
No,
it.
no, no. I'd
No,
be like
you'd
a
still want to look human.
androids in disguise. Yeah, well, I don't
Robots
want to
in
change this.
disguise. Transformers.
Can I?
Robots in disguise.
Could I actually have a mullet augmentation?
Yes.
It's all
Yeah.
I'll pick.
Because
Take it back.
in this you would also have the hair to do it with.
What are you trying to say?
Abort. What I think I would do is full android body. I'd be with Molly. Molly's gone, said, yes, go full android body. I'd be snatched. And I think I would be happy being in like a crazy pet, like I'd love to be like crazy, like running up walls like Major Kusanagi is to fight a spider robot, giant spider tank.
Oh, so if you had an
Or
android
just
body, you would choose to do things like that, and you wouldn't
good
have it
point
for
from
comfort, because you could have like
here's the
a
thing.
extended arm so you can
Would
reach like Pat the Chris from the other side of the room or something. That's a good one.
without moving.
Yeah.
Also, if I had an android body, I wouldn't have to worry about like gaining weight from eating too many packets of crisps, and I could just eat like a whole multi-pack without any sense of guilt.
Oh, wait there. Does Kusanagi eat? I don't want to live without taste with food.
Good question. I imagine she sleeps, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I bet. Do you think she dreams of electric
She
sheep?
does. She does probably.
Hey.
Um, she does eat in it, but I can't tell if that's just because she's offered food or if because she
Do you,
needs to eat to
do
fuel
you
herself.
do you know what that implies? Kusanagi poops.
What okay, so here's a question. The color of your poop, I know this from cells at cells at work. The color of your poop is brown because it's uh old red
Is it
blood
brown?
cells.
Speak for yourself.
What color's your poop?
Oh, sorry, what were we saying?
Like
Carry
a
on.
kind of disturbing mustard color. So it's because it's brown because it's your body is shedding dead red blood cells, right? So that's why it goes that
Mm.
color. Is the bile is made up of that. If you haven't got red blood cells but are still consuming food, what color is your poop? Is it that would she be expelling android liquid? Is she expelling weird jizz leftovers? Like what's going on when she is poop? Like if we're just going
Truffle
to follow
butter.
this through to its logical conclusion, Chris's poop is white. No.
It's like, do you
Yeah,
know the
that's
dog
my
poo in the
question.
90s? Is that it?
Uh, that's a sign of a sick dog if it's white.
It's a sign that they've had poor quality diet with bones in it. I don't eat very
Yeah,
well. I drink cans of Monster and pot noodles. But
I love a
anyway,
pot
who was
noodle.
your favourite character?
Kusanagi. I think she's the sexiest anime character ever to be drawn. And one of the reasons she's so sexy is she's highly competent. Like she's very, very logical. She doesn't panic. She also doesn't put other people at risk when she can like do the job. Like she's a protector, I think, at her core. Um, and she's a badass and she's fit.
Fair. Fair.
And at one
Oh,
point she dives off a building
I
and
think
is
she does
just like
twice.
turns invisible. Yeah, she's amazing and I love her and she's my favorite character.
Mm. Oh, it's a...
There
Oof.
are some teenage notebooks that belong to me somewhere, probably in my mum's attic, where I've drawn pictures of her in the margins. Not in a
Just her
creepy
boobs.
way, just not just
Just,
her boobs. It also
just...
her like
Oh,
that asymmetrical bob.
oh yeah, that's cool. For night... Was this
Mm,
95 as well?
yeah.
Set in 2029. Do you think we could go that way? Would you like genuinely? Would you think? Do you think we could live in a world like this? I don't think it's
I
that far
wonder
fetched.
if I don't think it's that far-fetched. The idea of at what point does computers achieve sentience, I find fascinating. I
Yeah.
don't think we're there yet, but I think we could be on our way there. Do I think civilization will survive long enough for us to see androids and like us transplanting our bodies into other entities? I don't know. Part of me is very cynical and wonders if we'll just like society all collapse before we get the chance. But the other part
Mm.
of me really hopes that we get to a point where we are able to do this, and maybe that's our salvation. But this is like a film because this film heavily influenced The Matrix. It also heavily influenced the film AI. Do you know the one with the kid who sees dead people?
Sixth Sense.
And at the end, that's the Sixth Sense. But he was also in a film called AI,
Oh, right.
Artificial Intelligence, with Jude Law as a weird sex robot. Have you seen this film? Oh, Chris,
No.
great sci-fi. It's
AI.
actually really good sci-fi.
I
AI, and there's
I
a
like
massive. I don't know if I
Bicentennial
want to
Man
do
over it.
spoilers. If you Bicentennial Man's great, but AI is influenced by this film specifically, and particularly
Wow.
the ending. The idea of like human, if what if the next stage of human evolution isn't organic, but it is in fact artificial.
I think I think I'll have to be, but I don't think we've got the infrastructure or power resources at the minute to even think about doing stuff like that.
Hence the collapsing of civilization.
Yeah. Well, there is slums in this, like because when you look at the
Yeah.
world, like you follow a bin man through some horrible little big crowded areas. It reminds me of what was that big block called in? Is it Taiwan or Hong Kong? Do you know what's been demolished now? Where they had where they filmed
Oh yes. Yeah,
you know
yeah,
which one I
yeah.
mean?
That film that we watched for Tup Grumps.
Yes,
Is it The Tower? Uh,
something like that. But anyway, it's a really
Lee, get in the
densely
chat. Help us out. Yeah, yeah,
Leon a bit. It's a densely packed um slum. Basically, it's full of
yeah, yeah.
nothing, and there
Like the
was loads of that
towers
in
from
it.
Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
And actually, in Bicentennial Man, so Bicentennial Man is a part of the I, Robot series by Asimov.
Mm.
And in one of those books called Caves of Steel, humans are living in these densely packed, like all of human civilization is now in densely packed high rises where you've got whole cities in a tower. And one of the kind of roles of the police that they have hired androids to do is to try and control the population because there are like regular riots because like humanity is kind of just like in so tightly packed and like there's like a kind of like bubbling rage that happens because of the living conditions.
Yeah,
Um
I get that.
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I'm angry living in
Wuhan.
the country. There's what, like 2,000 people in my village. Is no near one. Near one.
Literally you can walk like 5 minutes and you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah,
You live in the least densely populated county in the country and you're getting angry with people being too close to you.
yeah, yeah. It's never enough for me.
Give me that desert island.
There'd be someone
Yeah.
within 50 miles. I'll complain somehow. But I think. Oh no! Last point I want to talk about is the music in this, because I think it's
Oh,
amazing. I don't even know what kind of music is the apparently, right. I saw
yeah.
something. I don't know if it's true or not though, because I didn't verify it before I'm just saying it out my mouth. But it's translated from old Japanese or something.
Yeah.
Um, I couldn't understand it
It's
anyway.
definitely it's definitely got the kind of chromatic tonal like dissonant harmony of some like
Yeah.
traditional Japanese folk music. There's one particular song which is, you know, where she's going in, she's like, she's either on a train or on a bus or something going through the city.
Mm.
And it's very slow. It's one of the scenes where they really indulge in lingering on. And at one point, looks out the window and she sees another version of herself sitting in a cafe, and they like lock eyes.
Oh yeah,
There's a
yeah, yeah,
piece
yeah.
of music. There's a piece of music that plays in that sequence called Asain, which has made it onto nearly every playlist I've ever made since I was about 16. Like the music in this is so atmospheric and gorgeous. I love
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Asain. Na, na,
I've
na,
got
na, na,
my last question. Would you recommend this to someone
na.
who's never seen anime before?
Yes.
Do you think this would be a
Yeah, I
good like
would.
intro beginner anime?
If if someone told me that the kind of films they like are Blade Runner and and they're really into sci-fi, this is the anime that I would recommend they watch.
Mm, oh, yeah, because it's cyberpunky. It's a mixture between Blade
Yeah,
Runner and The Matrix for someone who's never seen
yeah,
anime.
correct.
But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's it for me for my questions. Do you have
This was
anything
fun. Thank you
else?
so much.
But do you
No,
have
just
anything
thank
else you
you
want to
for
talk
letting
about?
us do this for Ghost in the Shell. No, but what are we doing next week?
I would love to tell you, but I don't know.
You can't remember, can you?
Nah.
That's fine because I do. And we're going to watch Gachakusa.
Oh yes, yes. Watching Gachakuza.
Gachakusa. Gachakusa.
I
So
also
that's what
just
we're
want to
watching next
say
week.
thanks for recommending this as well, because I I think this was wasted on me as a kid when I watched it first. Because I remember seeing
Oh,
it. I remember seeing the animated boobs. I remember seeing the robots beating crap of each other and shooting guns. And I thought, oh,
yeah,
this is great, this.
yeah,
And as an
yeah.
adult watching it, I'm still a bit like that. But it's got a good story, amazing soundtrack,
There's
amazing
a whole
animation.
nother layer, right?
Yeah.
And that's why it's such a good recommendation for a first anime, because it can hit you in that fun action-packed place where there's like cool fight scenes, there's big explosions, there's
Mm.
like guns and gadgets, and then there's also the like kind of adult thing going along where it's like thinky, philosophical, but it kind of lures you into the philosophical thinking without you even really realizing, which is great.
Eh.
You're getting more smiley
Oh.
faces. You got to do one more snack before we go, Chris.
Before we do that, have you actually? I'm gonna try the only flavor that I haven't, which is lemon or ginger.
Yeah.
Um, have you actually watched any Gachakuze yet?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm up to like episode nine
Oh,
or
you've
something.
blown past the first. Yeah, you've blown past the first three episodes. Okay, good. I'm looking forward to it then. What have we got? Lemon or
Lemon.
ginger? Yeah. And on that cheery note,
Yeah. Thanks very much for watching. And I'll see you next week.